Hello. Hold on just a second. I just wanted to take a few minutes. I'm having technical difficulties today. So this is the phone that I have. It's out of its case right now. I have the flip phone. Now, because there's a screen on the front and the big screen and a screen on the front, so when it's folded, you have a screen, which by the way, I never use. The biggest reason I got this phone is because this is the kind of case it's like a purse. This is all I carry. That was the biggest reason I got it. Had heard, I got it pretty much after it came out. I had heard something about overheating, but it does happen. And the reason that is because it's this thin and you have a screen on both sides. First of all, I don't know what components they have in this part of the phone, but they need to move it. I hope in the next one. So I have had problems with it overheating, and the way I fixed that, but it was outside when I was in Austin live streaming. So what I did is I took an old phone that I filmed on and I put this one, I literally put this in my cooler with full of ice. And I laid it like on something so it wouldn't get wet. I got smart later on and started bringing a baggie to put it in so I didn't have to worry about it. So I wake up today. I had it on the charger and it hadn't charged. It was at like 30 something %, which made no sense. And I open it up and it's on safe mode. Well, no, it wasn't on safe mode. I take that back. I just trying to play a game on my phone and it was doing some weird stuff. The volume was on the screen going up and down. It was doing some weird stuff, so I restarted it. Well, that was a mistake. Shouldn't have done that. But I just thought, every once in a while you're supposed to restart your phone. I restarted it and it came back on in safe mode. You can see it down there. And everything's in black and white. And all my apps are like faded out. And I'm like, oh crap. So then I get this thing at the top that says, okay, tap here to turn safe mode off. I'm going to do it again. I've done it like 15 times. And it'll restart right into safe mode. Now, I did figure out I can use Google, I can make phone calls, and I can use YouTube. So I got ready to go. I'm all ready to go. I even made my sandwich and everything. And I was doing something on this. I came back over here and it was getting hot again. So anytime I try to do anything on the phone, like within a minute, it's hot. And this has gotten so hot, this front screen, you can't even touch it. I think my phone has died. I think the battery has given up the ghost. I think it overheated for the last time. And so it's too late for me to go today. So I'm going to try. Oh, wait. What? What? Wait. See? As soon as I say something, it fixes it. Hold on. Hang on. Woohoo! Now it came on. No, wait a minute. So it's in color. The apps are in color now. It still doesn't have my theme, but it's not saying safe mode at the bottom. Hey, Tom. So let me try. All right, let's try. Do my games work? I restarted this thing like, I swear, almost 20 times today since in hours. Now I'm confused. It's almost dead. I didn't want to put it on the charger because that overheats it too. So I did read a couple things. If I turn off fast charging on it, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to disable fast charging. And there was something else I read that I could do. Let's see. Fast charging. I can't believe it. As soon as I come on here, I'm happy, kind of frustrated. But I just knew as soon as I say, "Oh, it's done, it died," I'm gonna have to go to AT&T. I'm gonna have to get a new phone. I actually was kind of excited. I've had this for a little while. Nope. As soon as I turn it on, it is hot as heck. You see how long I've had it on for, and I haven't done anything. I don't have anything open. All I'm doing is searching the fast charging, and it's already hot as heck. I'm still gonna have to take it in. So let's see, turn off fast charging. And I'll go back in the article I found and try to figure this out, but it's already almost too hot to the touch right here on this screen. Chat brings you luck, Cricket. I know. But it's still not something I literally I think I'm gonna go stick it in, because it's at 10%. I don't even have it hooked to the charger. So I'll there's things that I can do that I read about. I can turn off like background apps and things, but for it to be that hot that fast, and literally the only thing I have open is the game. It's not even a game, it's just the app that you pick your games in. That's the only thing I show open. But so I'm gonna go see if putting it like in the fridge or something helps. Because if it does, then I'll just go back to when I live stream. This will go in the cooler, and I'll use the old phone. I've also talked to you guys about going and just getting a third line, because I thought it would be heck of expensive. But at least I'm out of safe mode now. I tried all day today trying to get it off of safe mode. And I finally, what I was doing, my husband said, let it sit and let it die. So that's what I'm kind of doing now. It's at 8%. So I'm trying to let it die, even though I turned it off and let it set for a long time. But man, this is already super, well, it's not as hot. So maybe turning off the fast. It's not as hot. It's all I did was close that one game app. But I'm still going to talk to AT&T about upgrading. It might be too soon. I know we've been with them over a year. And then Flip 6 is supposed to come out. I don't really care. I didn't even, I would have taken the Flip 4 with the little tiny screen, because I don't use this front screen at all. I don't really care about it. The only reason I got it is I liked this case because it's, I don't care. See, I got me a matching sanitizer. And this is all. And then when I live stream, this is the other reason I got it. It's magnetic, and then but it's got safety chain, so it won't fall off. So when I live stream, I take this wallet off, put it in my back pocket, and then it's just this. I take this off too. I still have this strap on. What I do, you guys can't see it. When I'm live streaming in Austin, I take this strap and I wrap it around the tripod. So if somebody tried to grab my phone, they'd have to take the whole tripod. I used to, when I had the gimbal, I would wrap this around my wrist so they could never take my phone. So it's still warm. I'm going to try that again. Let me open that one thing. It's not even a major app, and see how hot it gets. I only got 9% left. So anyway, like I said, I had the cooler ready to go. I just made my sandwich. I was finishing getting dressed, and it still just wasn't working right. So I just wanted to let y'all know, because every time I say on a live stream, oh, I'm going to be there Friday night, I'm going to be there Tuesday night, something always happens. Hi, Mandy. We were discussing my phone. It's overheating. And it is a problem with the flip phone. Nope. Why is it so black and white? Okay, so I just lost my theme, I guess. But it's not in safe mode anymore. Because when it was in safe mode a minute ago, I couldn't use any of my apps. It's still getting hot. Let me try to open Let me open YouTube. Oh, turn down the volume. I know. I still think my phone is dead. My hubs has the flip. Does he have the 5 with the big screen? Is he having the same problem? Because the problem is the front screen and the regular screen are so close together. My front screen gets so hot I can't touch it. I don't know if you've ever watched me, Mandy, when I've been in Austin. Cricket other people already know. I've literally put this phone in the cooler and hotspotted an older phone that I was filming with when because it was 100 some degrees outside. And so I thought that was the problem. But no, he has the newest one. Well, I've had this one for a year, and I'm going to see if I can upgrade, and hopefully they've done something about the overheating. Yeah, it's not getting too hot like it was, but let me plug it in. Okay, I'm not going to plug it into the fast charger. I disabled fast charging. I have a regular cord right here. I'm going to plug it into that and see how hot it gets. We'll see how that goes. Hey, Diana. Yeah, I just popped on here to touch base with you guys. Like I said, I'm ready to go. The only thing I do is put my jeans on. That's it. I had my sandwich ready. I had my cooler ready. And I realized I just can't. I can't even hotspot to it because it's getting too hot. I don't think it would even stay cool enough in the cooler. So I was going to try to get to AT&T today, but I don't think I'm going to make it. So whenever they open tomorrow, I'm going to go over there and see if they can do any kind of diagnosis on it. If not, I'm going to see what it'll take to upgrade to a newer phone. Or remember, you guys, I also talked about if I can't upgrade yet because it's not time, it's only going to be $30 more a month to get a third line. And I'll pick a phone that I don't have to pay a lease on that's like free but has a decent camera. And I'll just get a third line to live stream from. That way I have more data. I don't have to worry about them slowing me down. And I won't have to worry about this overheating. And because the old phone, it's not perfect. When I do hotspot that phone, for some reason, no matter what I set it at, it wants me to be in vertical mode. So I leave it horizontal because my readings are all horizontal, but it darkens the screen, and in the middle of the screen it says change your orientation the whole time I'm live streaming. And if it's too sunny, it's really hard to see the chat. So I think the YouTube gods are telling me I should get that third line. I go through the Dynetics book and see what it says about cell phones. Oh, of course. LRH would have a policy on it. I forgot. That or chat. All the policy stuff, I think, has been put into Chat GPT. I can check there too. For sure. But you can see I've already looked up articles on what to do to help it not overheat. I've done that before. And it's just reduce background apps, disable fast charging. I don't know anything else that I can do. So maybe I'll do a little bit more research, but I'm going to AT&T tomorrow because it's always gotten too hot. Now, luckily, I mean, the case itself, there's nothing here where the front screen is. Off and on, it's not too bad. I go Monday. Monday is my appointment. So I didn't get to tell you, I thought I cracked a tooth up here because I bit down on, I was eating something that shouldn't have had something hard in it. It was like a seed. And I heard this loud crack. There was a crack, but when they did pictures of it, there was a chip that had come off. So it didn't crack in half like my other teeth. So we're going on a different vein. But my daughter last week, about a week ago, said, Mom, with prolonged pain medicine can affect your teeth. I've been on pain med since 2008. I've been on the same pain med since 2012. And I looked it up, and it causes tooth decay. So when I told, you would think my dentist would know that. I told him that. And he said, all right, I'm going to put you down as teeth cracking syndrome. I've never heard of that, but they just made note of it. So that is with all of the things I have going on, that's because this one's the fourth tooth to crack pretty much in half. I thought that was a fifth one. It just chipped. But yeah, but I had heard back in the day, but I didn't remember it. My daughter brought it back up, and I said, so I looked it up. I've been on tramadol since 2012. Before that, I was on hydrocodone. And tramadol, long-term tramadol use causes tooth decay. So, hey, Scooter Mom. I know. Were you here at the beginning when I was talking about my technical difficulties? So I woke up today and my phone decided to go into safe mode. And it stayed in safe mode until I came on live and I did the restart and it came on regular, but it's still okay. So that's we got kind of onto my teeth too. But yeah. So, and it had been on the charger. I put it on the charger around 4 a.m. when I let the dogs out, went back to sleep. When I woke up, it was only at 30-something%, which wasn't normal. And when I went to start using it, it was just wigging out. It was doing some weird stuff. So I restarted it, and it came on in safe mode. I restarted it like 20 times all day today, and it kept coming back into safe mode. And I'm like, crap. And then I'm all ready to go. I have the cooler sitting there. I just made my sandwich. I was pretty much, all I had to do was put my jeans on. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to get all the way down there and not be able to live stream. So, because I was even going to try to hotspot to this. But when I hotspot, it overheats. And I even laying it in the cooler sometimes. My phone is wigging out, but I really need to get a new one. Yeah, this one, I worked for a car dealership. I learned never buy a car the first model year because they need a year to work out the bugs. Well, this was the first year. This had literally just come out that week, the Flip 5. There was a Flip 4, but if you don't know, it had this tiny little screen on the front that was probably about as big as my finger. And I didn't care. I was ready to take the Flip 4 because I was like, well, if it's free, I'll take the Flip 4. I don't care. The only reason I wanted the flip phone, which Scooter Mom, is I liked the case, and I liked that it was compact. I never used that front screen. Although I was going to use it to go to Dallas. I put YouTube, and I can put different apps on the front screen. And I was going to put, I can use the camera, I think, while I was going to figure it out so that I could carry it like a purse. I was going to go to another, when I ever get a chance to go to another org, that's how I was going to record them. But it's not as hot as it was because I did disable the fast charging like it said. So while I was sitting here, it has come on in regular mode now. But like I said, I think I'm going to go in tomorrow and look at my options at AT&T and kind of see if I can upgrade to the newer Flip. I really do want to keep the Flip. I really like it. Or if I can't upgrade yet, if it's too soon, we might look at getting the third line and I won't get a phone that costs, the monthly lease fee, but I'll get a decent enough phone I can record. So that'll give me, because I have felt like towards the end of my billing period, there have been times, because I get home sometimes and forget to turn the Wi-Fi back on for like till like the next day after I've been live streaming. So I think there's times where I think it has slowed me down, and I've had a couple of problems. So, but yeah, there's different, so you can do different things on this front screen. Like that's my I have YouTube on it so that if I'm listening, oh look, I'm recording. See, I can video when it's open. Look at that. I got video on. Or maybe that's the camera. I don't know. I've never done that before. The one thing I do like too, when I'm talking to my daughter on Messenger, I can fold it like this and still talk to her and not have to hold it. That's another thing I like about it. You're supposed to be able to do it like this and take pictures and like selfies, but I've never actually even done it. I've never even figured it out. Go away. And then, but normally I like it because it's got a big clock because I'm blind. I can see that without my glasses. So it's like every time I say online on a live, oh, I'm going to be here on this day, something happens. So my other option was I was thinking about stealing Tom's phone, but I'm just so I'm gonna go tomorrow to AT&T and see what they can do for me. We'll figure something out because I can't have that happen again. Keep those sign toes hopping. Yeah, don't want to really let them know when I'm coming. So yeah, last night or yesterday, yeah, it was last night, wasn't it? I had gone to the side, which I do at a certain time because they start coming back in for the night shift. Well, I went back to the back before I left, and they had to reopen the door. They hadn't opened the blinds, but they'd reopened the door. I'm like, I'm still here. Don't be doing that. So I just wanted to pop on here real quick. I tried to wait till Aaron was done. I watched a little. I got to go back and rewatch what he was talking about. That sounded like an interesting conversation. Tomorrow night's chat, it's starting to cool off enough that I think I'm going to go back. I tried to do a fireside last spring, but that was when I had first started, and it was horrible. I didn't know how to turn off notifications. I didn't turn on do not disturb, and all this noise was happening. So that was one of my first. I think that was my first live stream that wasn't in Austin that I tried, and it was a failure. So, but now I know better. So, we actually have 2 fire pits right now. Because when my daughter moved, we got our old cast iron one back. So tomorrow night I'm gonna do a fireside outside. One of these nights that Tom's off, I want to do one. It'll be a weeknight. But thank y'all for stopping. I just wanted to show everybody what's going on, and until I can figure out what's going on with my good phone. I took Oxy and Argo. I know. I never was put on. I was on some pretty hard stuff, and the problem was in 2008, it was a workers' comp injury, and they wouldn't do an MRI or anything on it to find out what was wrong. They just wanted to throw meds at you. Well, when I finally got with the doctor that understood fibromyalgia and didn't want me on that hard stuff, he did the right way. He weaned me off and weaned me onto tramadol. Dentist only gave me 8, but they're not working. With my pain medicine, when my teeth hurt, I was also taking ibuprofen because those pain meds are so strong. Sometimes I don't think they handle all kinds of pain. Plus, you also need an anti-inflammatory. And I'm on Celebrex too, but I think my body was so kind of used to it that the newer pain, I just had to take a supplemental. I also took Tylenol, which while I was researching side effects of tramadol, I found out I'm not supposed to be taking Tylenol with tramadol. I did not know that. But it said that it could have an effect on the way the medication works, and I didn't notice a difference. My body's been on it so long, I really don't think there was any kind of problem with it. So I don't think I'm actually that worried about taking a few Tylenol. I don't take it very often. I don't like it. But what I was doing is I was alternating, Diana, between I would take the ibuprofen one time and I would take the Tylenol another. That's what they tell you to do. Also, oh, oh my gosh, and ibuprofen and Tylenol. Girl, wow. Are you gonna get to the dentist and get something done about it? I hope. Luckily, mine's not hurting that much anymore. I just had this one's healed enough. I've been able to eat over here because they actually called me. It was Tuesday. Or it was a day I was. It must have been yesterday. They called me with a cancellation yesterday, and I said no. I'm just gonna keep my Monday appointment because I hadn't been in Austin in so long. Because I lose subscribers when I'm not protesting because that's what my channel is, and I know that. So whenever I have a big gap that I don't make it for, it doesn't matter why. That people tune into me because I'm a protester. I was at the dentist today. Okay, what are they going to do? Are they going to extract it? Did they extract it and you're healing? Yeah, they've extracted. I've had so many teeth crack that when they take this one out, I won't have any teeth back here. I'll have to have a partial. This top part's okay, and I'm only missing one tooth over here. And they were all also, but there is also the possibility those were all teeth that had fillings that were done in 1986. So, like this one up here that cracked, the middle part of the filling had cracked out, not the whole filling. So they are old. Oh, they took 3 last Friday. Oh gosh. Yeah. Luckily mine has happened like at different times. So I haven't had to have like more than one extracted at a time. Thank goodness. That's rough. But yeah, I was eating my sandwich on the way home last night and I have whole grain bread. I'm eating on this side, but some stray grain got over here and I crunched down on it. Ooh. Oh, and I found out the Origo, I got regular Origo, but my husband found this 4 times extra strength off-brand Origo, and wow, that was that was very different because sometimes you don't think extra strength really works. It was so strong it made my tongue hurt, but it worked. So if you can get that extra strength Origo, it did help a little, but it really doesn't help down deep. It just helps whatever's going on the surface. Yeah, because this tooth is still cracked in half. It was only cracked in the back, but since then it's cracked all the way. It's cracked in half. The one they're going to take out. So I have to be careful. It doesn't hurt unless I bite down. Neither one does, unless I accidentally bite down. Although sometimes, does your pain get worse in the evening? I noticed that my dental pain got worse late at night or in the evening. I don't know why, but it did. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Like I said, oh, and just to put the word out, I know I only got 4 people in here, and Scooter Mom, you already know. I'm gonna sit on here and go through my emails again. Yeah, 2 a.m. Yeah, I would be up until 2, and so I would feel it coming on. I hope you can get that feeling better. I really do. You think it's a first world problem? Well, not really, but I mean, but it can really debilitate. My husband, I didn't tell you guys this. So he had a cracked tooth that he hauled around about, and he got Bell's palsy. And when we went to the ER, we thought he was having a stroke. We stopped. My daughter happened to work right around the corner, and she was at work, and we walked in to let her know. She saw her dad and started crying because the whole side of his face was, paralyzed. And we're thinking stroke. And what it was is an infection had gotten into the tooth and gotten into the nerve, which created the Bell's palsy. And it didn't, because it depends. It can be 2 weeks, it can be 2 years. It can be. So the main worst part got better in about 3 weeks, but it was probably 3 months before he really kind of felt like, he looked better in 3 weeks, but there was still some residual for about 3 months. Chewing and his tongue and talking and things like that. Yeah, it was scary. And me and my husband don't freak out about things like that until they tell us to. So we're all calm and everything. We're like, hey, we just wanted to let you know we're going to the ER. We're not sure what's going on. It might be a stroke. We're not sure. But he's standing there walking around, and she like freaked out. She ended up going home early after we went to the ER. She was so upset. I forgot they get a little more upset than we do. We've been through so much with the Army and him being shot at, and how since 1989, we don't freak out about things like that until there's a reason, until they tell us, okay, it's this and it's not going to get better or something like that. Yeah. Yeah. So I was like, I really regretted stopping by. I wish I should have just said, hey, we're going to be at the ER. We'll let you know what happens. So I know now not to freak her out. So, yeah. Because we were like all chill about it. Oh, well, she was my only advocate when I got my illness and didn't know what it was for a year. Because my husband, the day I went in the ER, Tom was getting on a plane to Iraq for a civilian job. He had just retired and couldn't find. He tried working at a pawn shop for $8 an hour, and I mean, he went from high school into the Army Reserves in high school. He worked part-time jobs for a couple years while he was in reserves, and then he went active duty. So all he's ever known is the Army. And he tried to find a job around here after retirement, and he got so stressed out that his face broke out. Because when he retired, because we had kids early, we got married early, we were like, okay, our time's going to be when you retire. So him retiring was supposed to be him never being away, us not being apart anymore. And literally 2 months after he retired, he took a contract job with KBR in Iraq again. And that was in 2010, 2011. That was when they removed the last 5,000 soldiers. He was still there. The civilians were still there. He was working, he's a refueler. He was refueling helicopters and stuff. And I'm FaceTime him like this literally every night. And he would leave it running. I would hear the alarm, and he'd have to run and go get in the bunker. Because as soon as they knew the soldiers were gone, they started mortaring them all the time. Just constantly sending mortars in. And finally, like a couple months later, they finally got everybody out. That was that was so upsetting. I'm like, why did they take those last 5,000 that they ended up sending back, because the place imploded when they left. When I ran and everybody knew that the soldiers were gone, the place just imploded. So I was upset about that. That's the only thing I've really been upset about. And then when the first tour in Iraq that he went in early on when they were still living in tents, he's a fueler. He drives a truck with a big tank on the back full of fuel that will explode. So what they did to convoy in from, they landed in Kuwait and they had to convoy in to, they did all the way into Iraq early on, because they didn't have the airfields and stuff that they do now. They were still working on infrastructure. So what they did is they put all the fuelers together in the middle. Hey, Tom, you awake? He fell back to sleep. I think he was in the middle. And then they kept a big, huge distance. You know, the back of the convoy and the front of the car. They left them all alone. And just in case they hit an IED. So that was stressful. Because you don't hear from them. Back then, they didn't have the internet and all that set up yet. So I didn't hear from him for like 3, almost 4 weeks, till he got settled. And oh my gosh, my mother-in-law lost her mind. So we hadn't heard from him. They didn't understand how this stuff worked. And this is what was kind of a little frustrating, is I'd been left alone for a year at a time, like 3-4 times before that. And nobody called and checked on me or anything. But because he was going to war, everybody was calling me constantly. Well, what's his address? We want to send him something. Have you heard from him? Is everything okay? Okay, Scooter Mom, I'll be over there. So I tried to explain to them that it takes a little while to hear back. I was used to this. Before the internet got really good, we were allowed. They had, you've heard about the lines for the phones. So you get on the phone and they connect you and they time you. You get a 15-minute phone call twice a week. Well, sometimes I only got one. He said I was just too tired and didn't want to wait in line for 2 hours. I'm like, okay, fine. So this is how our phone call would go. He would call, hi. Well, and the kids were younger then. So we did this and we did that and this happened and this happened. And oh my God, the sink broke and the water line broke and I fixed it and da 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 da. And then you'd hear, you have 1 minute. And then we were like, I love you, bye. We usually got cut off. Because after that, at that 15-minute mark, cut off. You're done. So it was so much nicer when they finally got internet. And in 2001, he was in Korea, and he had to go off post to an internet cafe. And we could go on and talk back and forth typing. It wasn't visual, was it? It wasn't visual, because I forgot what he looked like when he was in Korea, because we didn't have any visuals back then. And he didn't get to come home in the middle. So, all right, I'm going to go. It's just me, Diana, and one other person. So I expected to only be on here 5 or 10 minutes tops. But it was nice to catch up with you guys. I'll be thinking about you, Diana. I know what you're going through. I'm getting mine extracted on Monday. I've never had a crown before. I don't know how painful that can be. But I'm glad that I waited on purpose, because this will be healed enough. Because they wanted to do it like all at the same time. I wouldn't have been able to eat on either side. And you know what that's like. Trust me, I've got 3 kinds of JellO in the fridge right now. And soup. So, what's your favorite JellO, Diana? Mine's actually the green, the lime. Tom likes any of the red, strawberry, cherry. Oh, we found Welch's grape JellO. Cherry. I do. Yeah, I like the cherry. I made strawberry. I haven't tried it yet. I like the cherry too. Pretty much cherry and lime. Those are the 2. So, and we put the whipped cream on it too. Kind of helps it. But I can't eat it too much. It's too much sugar. So I bought gelatin powder that has no flavor, and I bought juice. And I was going to heat up the juice, and I was going to make my own JellO with less sugar. I just haven't gotten around to do it. Maybe I'll do that tonight since I'm not going to Austin. I'll try to do that, because Monday When Monday rolls around, yeah, I'm going to be eating JellO and soup. I got a lot of chicken and rice, chicken and star soup, I think, or rice or something like that. It doesn't have a lot of stuff in it. So I hope you feel better. I'll be on tomorrow night. Let me know how you're doing, or email me if you want. But I'll be thinking about you. I'll put you in my prayers. And I'll see y'all tomorrow night. Have a good weekend if I don't see you.